Everybody dance now. But we don't have a dance floor here, so we can't get too much into it. We're here to cook. I'm here to share some culinary experiences I've done in the past. So today, I have my dance music in the background. I got my ingredients in front of me. We have our chicken, and we're going to debone this, and we're going to stuff it with some exotic ingredients. And we're going to go over that. We have some knives here. We have my chef's knife, I have my deboning knife, I have a paring knife just in case, I have my steel, I have my butcher string, and I have some salt, some fresh herbs with just basil and oregano chopped already. I have 1 egg for a stuffing. I have some white pepper because I love using white pepper with chicken. So, this is pretty unique. This is lobster mushrooms. The reason why they're lobster mushrooms is because they have that color of lobster. And some people think it tastes a little bit like lobster, but it's more of a nutty flavor. And basically, the great thing about lobster mushrooms is that they do grow in British Columbia, on the west coast especially. But it has a huge benefit to your health. It has basically 32% iron, 16% calcium, 8% fiber, 4% protein. It has A, B, and C vitamins. It's a meaty type of mushroom, so it's actually really good for vegans. So if you have a vegan diet, this could be a go-to for your main dish. Now the other thing about this is that it has 160 calories, approximately for 2 cups. So you can eat quite a bit of this and fill up, and you're not taking in a lot of calories. So, and if you're keto, still good. Add some butter. We're going to be happening then. So we got our lobster mushrooms here. We have some olive oil I'm going to be rubbing the chicken with. I have some fresh chopped garlic. We have another exotic grain, which is the black rice. I've cooked it out with some almonds. You can't really see the almonds, but you can see the shapes maybe. But I did that just for flavor, texture, and you could keep them separated, add them later so you have the whiteness still of the almond. It's your choice. Black rice, very popular in Chinese cuisine for desserts. It's a hearty rice. It's 2-to-1 ratio, 2 cups of water to 1 cup of rice, and but we're going to use it as a savory today because of color. I wanted to be doing something different that would match the lobster mushroom, and it does have flavor. We added some good flavors to the black rice. It has a good texture, different than white rice, and it also turns a little bit purple after it's cooked. So we have some white rice. So we're going to do a blend of the 2 rice species together, and with our herbs and everything else. So let's get started. So deboning the chicken, we're going to start on the back end. So everybody has their way of doing it. All chefs, some chefs will start deboning from the top, some chefs will start deboning from the bottom, some will start clipping off joints right from the get-go. It's totally up to you. We're just going to score our leg around the top so we can separate the skin near the end. And we do that. And then I'm going to take my chef's knife and we're going to just snap that right off. So there's 1 knuckle. 2 knuckle. Okay. So we're going to go right down the middle of the bone, and we go really slow. Like there's no rush here. And what we're going to do is the reason I'm doing this way is because I want all the skin. I don't want to break the skin apart. I want to have the whole roast wrapped around as the skin, all this skin, but basically the cover to hold everything in place. So basically, you're going to take your time and you work from one side to the other, and keep to the bone. Like you don't want to start going towards your left or towards your right. Depending on what hand you work with. You want to keep to the bone. You come to certain bones, you just work around it. Like I said, there's no rush. You just work through that. Back here, we go to both sides. We're going to get to the wing bone area. So you're going to work around that wing bone. So basically, I know it's kind of like a little bit harder to see, but I'm working really tight to the bone and around the wing bone area until I get to the bottom. And what happens at the bottom here is you can take small jabs just to get around, and then you're going to cut it to the back, and then there's a joint for the wing bone which we disassembled with our knife. I'm going to do it with the other side as well. The joint's right there, so it's really cool. As you can see, we're starting to get there. Happening now. Look how much that's happening. So we're very close. We're just going to cut this off right there. It separates it. Now I can see the top of the breast. I'm just going to cut through that, leaving the skin intact, and then follow through to the back, and boom, we have the carcass completely taken out, and we have our chicken that's now deboned slightly. Save this for chicken stock. You know, fresh thyme, garlic, some onions, a little bit of celery, carrot. Put in some cold water, turn slow, let it simmer, add some salt, and basically you have a nice stock for soup. My dog is trying to have lunch, so I'm just moving my way a little bit. So I'm going to keep the wings attached just for presentation, but I will debone the legs. So the legs next is, if you look, you get to this point, you're going to see an L shape. You got the thigh and you got the leg part. All you do is follow along the bone. You can basically see the shape. You follow along the bone, and you work your way around that leg, keeping really close to the bone. The reason why I cut that knuckle off is it just makes it a little bit easier. It's cleaner, so you don't have to then move your knife again around another bulge. Remember this guy here? The Scat Man. Very famous in Japan back in the 90s. Scat Man. I know I'm not a singer, but many of us are not singers. We just like to sing and have fun. So it makes us smile. It makes it a great part of our day. So I'm one of those guys you'll see in a car, singing probably to the radio. I'm okay with that. Okay, so I'm going around, and it's really simple. I'm just following the bone. And got one out. So now we have a completely deboned whole chicken, other than the wing bone, which we could take them out, save them for some chicken wings, put them into your stock, take the meat out, and then use that the stuffing inside. It's totally up to you. But we're going to keep them here. So this part here, I just start bunching it together. The tenders inside the chicken, I think like just a little bit extra of the breast as well as the tender. Open it up a little bit just so it's like a little pocket, so I can get more stuffing in there and hold it in place, so there's more meat wrapping around it. Okay, so now we're going to start seasoning. So I always season my inside of my stuffed chickens with a little bit of salt, and again, you can use black pepper, it's all good, but I like to use white pepper. Okay, and we got that seasoned. What we're going to do now is mix our ingredients for the stuffing together. So we have our white rice. Boy, that was shiny, eh? Reflection from the outside light. And then we have our black rice. I just love this black rice. I like eating it. It tastes really good. It has a great texture, but this looks good. Don't mind me if I'm looking away sometimes because my dog. Add a little bit of garlic. And when I say a little bit of garlic, for this breast here, it's probably about half a tablespoon. I know chefs always go by estimations, you know, grab this, grab that, grab that. Just because we've been doing it so much and so long, we basically know how much to put in because we know our size of our hand and it became repetitious, so that's why that happens. We're going to add 1 egg. So we got that taken care of. And we're going to just move this off to the side. The chicken, and I got the lobster mushroom. I could have chopped it ahead of time, but I just wanted you to see me chop and add to the storyline here. So I'm going to chop that up, not too fine, just enough so it's palatable when you're actually eating your slice of stuffed chicken. So I'm going to add that to that, and we're going to add our fresh herbs, the basil and oregano. And I never showed you this, but this is the broth it's hard to get the lobster mushrooms to get them fresh unless they're in season. So when they're not in season, you can get them dried from the local specialty shop. My chicken came from a local butcher, so that's kind of cool. I like to support local as much as I can. I had these imported from Vancouver from a mushroom company. There is a mushroom company in Prince George that picks wild mushrooms, but unfortunately she was out this time of year until the next crop comes up, which is going to be pretty soon. But yeah, so I soak them in hot water. I boil them slightly in water for a short period of time until they're soft. But I'm not going to throw the broth away. I'm not going to use it today, but I'm going to save this because this would be great for mushroom sauce. It could be great for so many other applications, seasoning or flavoring rice, potatoes, whole bunch of things. Just infuse this, even reduce it down a little bit more, have that more nutty flavor, mushroom flavor. It's great with a lot of different things. But just keep that in mind, just save this for another application. Okay, we're going to add a little bit of salt to this, and a little bit of white pepper. And then we're going to mix that all together. The reason why I add the egg, now this stuffing you could add bread if you want, but I wanted to make this gluten-free. There's so many people, whether you have celiac disease or you just have a gluten-free diet, it's all good. I just like to do as much as I can gluten-free, so when you have someone that says, oh, we got 10 people here, but one's gluten-free, I want to make it right, so it's important that you think of that kind of stuff. So the egg's going to hold it together. There's other things you could have used to hold it together, but we're using egg today. So we're going to bring our chicken back. We're going to overlap that, and we're going to put a little bit of our stuffing in the middle. All right. Like packing it down, and you're going to fold over really tight. Okay. Now it's going to be a little bit mucked up with your stuffing here, but it's all good because as it cooks, it will blend in. So we got that there. I'm going to cut some butcher string. So I go normally for chicken the size about 5 feet approximately. Here's what we're going to be using the paring knife for. Big time use for that knife, eh? Okay. I slide it underneath, so you can see I'm sliding it. Get to this point here, we're just going to do a simple knot, going through, start the first part of this trussing. Okay. This is a fun, actually this is a great part. This is so much fun. You can go underneath again. Bring it to here, about 2 inches apart. Go underneath. Pull the string through. And you're going to just bring that up. And it actually makes it tight. Like a loop knot. I want to talk about some people who know knots. Oh my gosh. Conservation officers, military personnel, they know how to do knots, man. My brother was in the military, he's retired now. And when our parents passed away, he was packing up some stuff and he did this knot that I couldn't believe. I was going like, what the heck? It looked like it was braided on, and it was like a whole pool set. Like, I could not believe it. Like, where did you learn that? It's amazing what they teach you in the military. It's amazing what they teach you in public services, when like conservation officers and those kind of positions. It's just, I'm really impressed with that. Okay, so we're coming to the end. We're just going to bring those two together. Like I said, you can take your time. There's no rush. And then what I do is I just basically do the final one over top of the wings. And I'll knot it up. Cut it off. And then this is ready for the oven. So we're going to finish it off with our olive oil. We're going to rub that in with a little bit of salt, white pepper. Okay, that's awesome. If you go to our Facebook page at Farmhouse Catering in Prince George, so you could be watching this from wherever, you can make comments about these videos that you're watching. We'd like to hear from you. And we also have a wonderful, beautiful website page. We're very versatile. We do a lot of different things, not only catering, but also meal plans, and we even do chocolates. Yeah, so we're moving forward. So here we go. We have our stuffed deboned chicken with black rice, lobster mushrooms. I'm going to throw that in the oven. Raw meat with cooked meat doesn't go. So we're not going to do that. So this is our whole chicken, all ready, roasted. I roasted it. Actually, I wanted to show you this. I have a thermometer right here. So this is just a digital thermometer, really important for food safe. So basically, you want to hit about 170 inside, and then you're good to go. Roasting it at about 340, and it's about 20 minutes per pound at 340, 350. So it's going to take about an hour and a half to cook, and it should be done. So definitely, if you don't have one of these, you should get one. If you have a probe one, that's you can work that. Just make sure that it's calibrated properly, which is really easy to do. Pack a glass with ice and add water to it. Put your probe in. Get a little wrench as a nut underneath the dial, and just move the nut according to hitting 0, and then it's calibrated. So, but let's open this up and see what it looks like. Look at that. Isn't that great? You know, you cut a slice like this, and you serve this on a plate. Wow. You're going to impress people, man. I tell you right now. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you watching the video. Share it with your friends right off of YouTube. It will be on YouTube. Subscribe if you wish. This is something that we're getting into. We have redesigned ourselves right now during this COVID-19, and this is part of it. We want to give content, and so people keep on remembering who we are. And if you have a question, again, Go to our Facebook page, Farmhouse Catering in Prince George, and I'd be more than happy to answer questions. Positive is always the best. If you have a comment that you want to challenge, please do. So if I'm wrong, it's something I can learn. I love it. So take care, God bless, and I wish you a great week. And remember, we're all in this together.